Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of our FC26 career mode. We're back today with episode 30, and after a bumper episode last time out, we've got more big games coming today in the Premier League as we will take on Chelsea, Man City and Newcastle in three massive clashes at the top of the table today, alongside more big games in the Premier League and the FA Cup fourth round away at Oxford as well. So plenty of big clashes to come in the league as we look to keep ourselves in the hunt for Champions League football and potentially still in a title race as well. Kicking off here at home at Turf Moor, tough game against the Seagulls as we look to get off to a flying start in today's episode and keep pace with Newcastle at the top of the table. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, it's getting so tight at the top of the Premier League, and even down to Chelsea in 7th, I'd say. They're only 8 points off Newcastle in 1st. So yes, they'd be rank outsiders, but I don't think you can write them off at the moment. It is so tight at the top, and this season we set out for Champions League football at the start of the campaign, and if we get it, then that's brilliant. Of course, that's what we set out to do, but we've been so good this season. I'd really love to keep ourselves in a title race come the end of the season. I don't think we're going to win it. I do think we're one of the underdogs, but Strand Larsen denied by a brilliant save. Yeah, I do think we'd be one of the underdogs for it, but we've been brilliant this season, so there's no reason why we can't stay in the race. Yeah, I think if we are to be in a title race, we've got to add consistency to our game. And one thing as well, when we have lost games in the Premier League, as Juve, what a brilliant finish to give us the lead. When we have lost in the Premier League, every time we've lost a game, we've followed it on with another defeat. So of our 6 defeats, they've all come in bunches of 2 defeats in a row. So we've reacted really poorly when we have had a setback. And in our final 14, we've got to cut that out if we want to stay in this title race. Juve gives us the lead, and that could be a huge goal to keep pace with Newcastle at the top. Oh, what a pass that is. Minte. Trafford does well, and it's pulled back for a spot kick. Trying to get across on the cover, and Maxime Esteve flies in. It's one of those that's a little bit harsh because he's trying to make a block, and Trafford makes the save, and they all sort of come together. But Yankuba Minte has the chance from the penalty spot. Minte, Trafford goes the right way but can't get there. Hannibal, great press. He's so good at starting that press off. And now here's Edwards into Hannibal. Strand Larsen in the middle, surely to restore the lead. It's a lovely Burnley goal, and we are back in front 15 minutes after Brighton pegged us back. Yep, that is going to do it as well. A big victory from Burnley after being pegged back after Yankuba Minte's spot kick. That is a fantastic result that will help us keep the pace with Newcastle at the top. They beat Arsenal today in what was a massive result for the Geordies, and I think they're the team to keep an eye on this season. Won it last year, so they've got the experience of getting the job done. Pep Guardiola at the helm as well. I think they are odds on to win it again this year, but with Manchester City in town, you can never write them off. And to be honest, with the season we've had, don't write Burnley off either. Right, jumping into our next game, massive one as we take on Chelsea. I'd say they are probably the lowest team that could consider themselves in the title race still, but a victory for us here could see their title hopes sort of dwindle and fade away. So this is a massive game away at Stamford Bridge for both sides. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, I think we're in for a really enjoyable end to this season, guys. We've got such a close title race in the Premier League with probably 6 or 7 teams that feel they could go on and win it. And we've got to play pretty much all of them as Jadon sent away. Comes infield. Jadon Philogene off the crossbar, and he can't turn in the rebound. So close to the opener. We've obviously still got the Europa League knockouts to come. We're into the 4th round of the FA Cup. And of course reached the League Cup final in the previous episode as well. So realistically, the Clarets are still on for the quadruple. I don't think it's going to happen, but I definitely think we've got a chance of ending our trophy drought this season as Jadon goes so close again. Yeah, for anyone wondering how long that trophy drought has been for Burnley, last major honour was in 1960 as Jorgen fires that wide, and we really should be in front here at the Bridge. They won the Old English First Division back in 1960. They also won the FA Cup back in 1914, so it has been well over a 50-year wait now in the save for a trophy, and I think we've got a great chance of ending that this season. Tino, great reach. Now Marcus Edwards, has been all one-way traffic so far as Scott nearly poked that through the gap, and now Barcola finds Enzo Fernandez. Out to Ferran Torres, skips away from Jackson, and the Spaniard down the left-hand side. Great ball, and Liam Delap didn't really get hold of that as Trafford makes a comfortable save and looks to get us on the move quickly. Hannibal through the gap for Jadon. Surely this is going to be the opening goal. Jadon Philogene, there it is. From one end to the other, we went a little bit more direct today, and Jorgen does well up top. And a little quick passing move sees Jadon Philogene sent in behind. He had an electrifying start to the season, has slowed down a little bit since then, but gets his 6th goal of the campaign here at the Bridge in what could be another massive goal for Burnley. Every goal's a massive goal at the moment. Yeah, fully deserving of our lead in that first half as well. We played really well. Played some nice stuff out there. And as Hannibal finds Alex Scott, bursting through on the left foot. It's a 2nd for Burnley. And we've got a really good record against Chelsea throughout the course of this save, especially over recent seasons. And we look set for another massive scalp here on the road. Not great limbs in the away end, but this is going to be a fantastic win that, again, is going to keep us right at the top of the table with Newcastle leading the way. But Burnley are not going anywhere, man. Stev. That's decent. Oh, and Costa had to tip it over the top. I'm still trying it, guys. I'm still trying it from the halfway line as we make all 5 of our changes in one go. Gabriel Peck swings the corner in deep. Beelan goes up, and that will drop behind for a goal kick. Enzo driving on. Delap finds Reed. It's really nice football from the Blues, and Delap forces Trafford into another really good save down low to his right hand side, and I think that might be the final chance of the game as well. We should see it out from here with the clean sheet intact as well. A massive win on the road for Burnley as we dent Chelsea's title hopes and strengthen our own in the race for the Premier League title. But as we jump into our next one, it is time for FA Cup action as we travel to the Kassam in the 4th round. Another EFL side after we made it through Blackpool in round 3, and I'm looking for another comfortable progression here. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, this should hopefully be a comfortable progression through to the last 16 of this competition, and with the likes of Man City and Liverpool already eliminated, this competition provides a great opportunity to end that trophy drought that we mentioned in the previous game. Still some big teams left in the competition. I think Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, all still left, but a little bit of luck in the cup draws and we could be set for another trip to Wembley alongside the EFL Cup final to come towards the end of next month. Damien Burke gets us off the mark and we do look set for an easy progression through to the last 16. Now Leslie finds Illing Jr. Nice ball into Burke, and there's Gabriel Peck. It's a lovely build-up, and Zeki for 2. Oh, the keeper's so unlucky. There's a brilliant effort from the Oxford keeper to try and keep it out, but Zeki Amdouni gets his first in the FA Cup this season, and from 2 goals up, it is a long way back from Oxford from here. If we can get a 3rd goal right at the end of the half here, I think that will pretty much kill the tie off. as Ezekiel reverses it for Jack Rudoni for 3, and that is going to do it. Final kick of the half. Jack Rudoni, who's had a pretty good goal scoring season in the cup competitions, Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup. He's done pretty well, to be fair to him. Gets the 3rd, and I'd imagine that will be us in the draw for the last 16. Yeah, it's all over here at the Kassam. Comfortable win for Burnley. And the backup brigade doing it again in the cup competitions through to the last 16 of the FA Cup alongside the final of the League Cup. I tell you what, our backup brigade are maybe doing just as well as the first team in these competitions. But let's get back to the menu, see who it is, and hopefully we're avoiding one of those big teams that I mentioned before we kicked off. Yeah, I believe our game was the final one of the fixture, so I mean, look how tight it is in the Premier League. We're still 4 behind Newcastle, who've only lost 2 games all season, but only 5 points separate us to Spurs in 6th, and it's what, 4, 5, 6, 7 points to Chelsea in 7th, and Villa are only 2 points behind them. It is so tight. But as for the FA Cup, please don't be one of the big 3 that I named earlier. Leyton Orient at home. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'd expect Chelsea to get through, I'd expect Arsenal to get through, and I'd expect Newcastle to get through. So if we do make it into the quarterfinals, which we should, then I'd expect it will probably be one of those top sides. But a great opportunity once again to make it into the quarterfinals of a domestic cup competition. That game might actually come today, you know, but for now we will jump into our next one. It's Fulham at home at Turf Moor. Again, it's been a brilliant start to the episode. 3 wins, just 1 goal conceded, which came from the penalty spot. And with the run of fixtures coming of Manchester City and then Newcastle away, 2 massive games at the top, I want to make sure we get the win here to continue that momentum into those fixtures. So Fulham at home, who we absolutely battered in the reverse fixture away at Craven Cottage by 6-0. Looking for another win in the Premier League here. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, it was back in the early stages of the season when at Craven Cottage we absolutely dismantled Fulham. And it was Hannibal who was the main man involved, as that's a dangerous ball, and Marcus Edwards nearly got his head to it. It will drop for Hannibal, and there's Alex Scott. It's off the post and not quite turned in as the veteran goalkeeper Schwab gets his gloves to it. But, oh guys, we're just approaching the hour mark, and I tell you what, we've really struggled since what was a really promising start in those opening 8 minutes. Alex Scott went close hitting the post, but now here come Fulham. Sessegnon took too long on it, and we will get the ball clear, but just not really played well enough here today at Turf Moor, as Juve gives it away again. And that's what I mean. And with Arsenal winning, I think City were winning at the Etihad as well. We've got to find a way to break the deadlock here as Strand Larsen denied by Schwab. Now Jaden and Estev through the gap for Jorgen. Lovely football, and he's missed the target. Feels like it's just going to be one of those games today. We've got 19 minutes to try and score the goal to give us all 3 points. Yeah, not really good enough from us today. And Strand Larsen's missed a couple of great opportunities. Both of them coming in the last few minutes as Hannibal finds Luca. A couple of changes for us. Hannibal, who was the scourge of Fulham last time out. Jack Rudoni! And the substitutes do it again for Burnley. It's Rudoni with his first league goal of the season. But I said in our previous outing away at the Kassam that he scored goals this campaign. They've all just come either in Europe or in the domestic cups. Hannibal does well, offloads to Jack, and it's a brilliant finish for his first league goal of the campaign. And boy, did we need that. Beelan, great win. Hannibal, Jack, Lovely football. Jack Rudoni, what a substitution. Inspired piece of management. And Jack Rudoni off the bench has scored 2 brilliant goals to secure the win against a resilient Fulham side today. Sometimes when it's not working, you've just got to change things up. Rudoni hadn't scored a league goal all season long, but we'd seen Larson miss a couple of big chances, so I took him off for Zeki, who's made a difference, got the assist there. We moved Hannibal slightly deeper and brought on the Englishman Rudoni, and what a substitution it ended up being. Massive, massive win for Burnley here at Turf Moor. And as we head into our next game, we stay here at home in Lancashire to take on Manchester City. We absolutely demolished them in the semi-finals of the League Cup not too long ago with a 3-0 win here at Turf Moor. And now in the league we're looking to do the same thing and pick up what would be a huge, huge step towards Champions League football and potentially our first ever Premier League title as well. Huge clash here at Turf Moor. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, this is a huge, huge game for both sides. Newcastle have just been beaten by Liverpool as well, so we're now just 1 point behind the league leaders. But Man City will be viewing this as a great chance to get back on top spot as well. It's so tight. I love it, man. I love when there's like 5 or 6 teams going either for the European places or especially for a title. It makes it so, so exciting. As Jackson slides through Edwards, was he onside? No, the flag goes up. Do you know what? Donnarumma is a big keeper. But I'm tempted just to absolutely leather this with Jorgen Strand Larsen. Let's see what comes of it. Jorgen, oh, it's well pushed away by Donnarumma. Felt a little bit close to try and get it up and over, and not had much luck with free kicks this year on FC 26. Corners into Maxime Esteve, and that is not far away. He scored a big goal at the Etihad last season. Yeah, you may have seen that Victor Osimhen actually leads the line for City today, and I think when he started in the League Cup, we did a really good job of keeping him quiet and containing him. So I'd much rather see the Nigerian start over Erling Haaland, and I might be made to eat my words because he did score the winning goal when we faced each other at the Etihad earlier on in the season. So we'll see how he gets on today, and we know that Erling is waiting in the wings if he is needed. But as that's given away to Florentino, it's been Burnley on the front foot in these early stages as Hannibal finds Edwards, and there's Jackson. Flag stays down, Scott's at the back post, and it's cleared by Manchester City as Foden finds Osimhen, and there's Savinho. Jackson caught out, Maxime trying to get across. Trafford comes out and does brilliantly well to dive at the feet of the Brazilian and claim the ball. That was a big chance for City on the break. Yeah, second half getting underway here. There's been a couple of sort of half chances, nothing clear cut. I think this game is one of those that neither side can really afford to lose. And a point for either side is probably not a terrible result. And quite often these games, if they are won, they're won by a single goal. You think back to our win against Newcastle here earlier on in the season, won by a single goal from the penalty spot by Jorgen Strand Larsen. And the reverse fixture against Man City, also won by a single goal with Victor Osimhen winning it at the death. So I think if someone is going to win this today, it might be a single goal that does it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're destined for a 0-0 draw, because it's one of those that neither side wants to lose. Oh, Bielan's got to get there. Doesn't. That's a red. Made a decision, and I brought Victor Osimhen down as he was racing away. Trafford was coming out and maybe would have got there on the save, but I made a decision to bring him down. And it could be a costly one. Bielan sent off. I'm pretty sure it was outside the area. Yes, it was outside. So it'll be a free kick for Man City. But these final 20 minutes will be played with 10 men. And they've scored the free kick anyway. That's a wonderful goal by Foden. And now we've got a mountain to climb. Do you know what's really annoying is I had Florentino go back onto the line. And then I think with the player switching, he came off the line. As Alex Scott does really well. Lovely from Alex Scott, and the shot is straight at Donnarumma. And I said it might be won by a single goal, and it might be won by a brilliant wonder goal from Phil Foden. I'm not sure we're going to create enough to salvage anything from here, and if anyone's going to score, you'd probably put your money on Manchester City, as Foden at the back post scuffs it wide. To Osimhen, we need that ball if we're going to score. Maxime doesn't get there. Osimhen, it's a great save by Trafford, and he does really well on the rebound as well, and he looks to get us on the move quickly because we've got to get it forward. As Illing Jr. bodies flying forward, Jackson being one of those. Jackson finds Illing Jr. through the gap for Banzuzi. And Zeki. And Ezekiel Banzuzi with a massive goal for Burnley. His first in the Premier League. And what a time to get it for the Dutchman. Oh my goodness, guys. Last kick of the game. And I've no idea how he found the space in there. But Ezekiel comes up with a massive goal that could be crucial come the end of the season. City thought they'd done enough to win it. I thought they'd done enough to win it. But Ezekiel said, "Gaffer, hold my beer." Massive goal from the Dutchman. He scored, I think, on his debut in the FA Cup. But that's his first goal in the Premier League. And what a time to get it as well. Right, we'll jump into our next game. Another huge one as we take on Newcastle away at St James's Park. We had these two fixtures back-to-back earlier on in the season, and we lost to City and beat Newcastle. But now after a draw against Man City, I've no idea what the result is going to be in this next game. Could be anything, and I'm expecting a really tough game against the league leaders. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, this is a huge game, and I said it that I think Newcastle are odds-on favourites to go on and win this title, but I think their squad has got weaker since last season when they were champions. They've lost a few key players, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on as Jackson defends well. And Tonali finds Guimaraes. I have to say, I really like Newcastle being up there, though. Really exciting, and with Pep Guardiola at the helm, it's a brilliant story as Tonali rifles in the opening goal. And this is why I've said I think they are favourites for the title this season. Langer, good ball into Bruno. Now Miley. Sorloth round the corner for Bruno. Tonali shot deflected off Ezekiel, and that really could have gone anywhere. Home crowd are up here and sensing a second goal, as Jorgen should get his head to that. Does. Bruno's shot will be cleared by Ezekiel, and now we can break. And we can break with pace as Gabriel finds Jaden and Scott. Ezekiel. Jorgen into Gabriel Peck. And that is not far away from the Brazilian finding the top corner. Good counter-attack. Kept the chance alive. And almost pegged Newcastle back level. Juve finds Scott. Maxime stepping into midfield. Florentino into Scott. Nice football from Burnley. Juve finds Jaden, who's onside. Swings across in. Jorgen knocks it down for Gabriel Peck. It's a brilliant finish. And it's not quite how I drew it up, but I will take it all day long. Gabriel gets his first Premier League goal since joining in January. And it's the new boys that are saving me once again in the big games. Ezekiel against Man City, and now Gabriel at St James's Park. Lovely goal on the left foot, and we're back level. This is another game here, like the Man City clash, where it's like neither side really wants to lose it. It was a moment of brilliance that put City in front at Turf Moor after that Phil Foden free kick, but we still managed to find a way to fight back and level once again here. Newcastle looking to win it as Sorloth hits it on the spin, but Trafford makes a good save and looks to get us forward quickly as Jaden does well to get the ball under control. Now it's Jorgen around the corner for Hannibal. And Scott finds Ezekiel. There's Gabriel Peck. And Gabriel pinches it back. Peck on the right foot. Saved by David Raya. And now the game opening up a little bit. It's got the feel to it that somebody might go on and win it. And Estev does well. And now we come the other way. Game really opening up now. Couple of minutes left to play. Gabriel Peck down the right-hand side. 1-2 with Jackson. Gabriel. Lovely skill. Gets away from his man. Gabriel Peck. Oh, it's just wide. Oh, man, that would have been brilliant from the Brazilian who has been magical today. I think that is going to do it here at St James's Park. And again, like against Manchester City in the previous game, it is going to finish level as the score ends 1-1 here at St James's Park. But my goodness, we are still in for an absolute thriller of a roller coaster ride in the final 10 games of the Premier League season. Let's go and take a quick look at how the table's reading. Well, guys, as we get back to the menu, we see Oliver Glasner, one of the OGs, has been sacked by Crystal Palace. We've got Leyton Orient up next in the FA Cup, which I think I will close out the episode with, but let's take a look at the Premier League table. My goodness, look at that. Liverpool go top now on 61 points. Burnley second, 59, level with Newcastle. Spurs now jump into fourth place on 58, level on points with City. And then Arsenal just a single point behind them on 57. Chelsea, I think, now out of the running on 51 points. But my goodness, it is so tight at the top. What we will do, guys, is close out the episode with the FA Cup fourth round. In fact, actually, before we get there, we should have seen the draw for the Europa League last 16, where we will be taking on FSV Mainz. Okay, interesting tie that. The German side away from home first, and then returning back home to Turf Moor for the second leg. Well, that'll come in the next episode, alongside the League Cup final against Liverpool, plus more big games in the Premier League, including probably our visit of Arsenal in the Premier League. So yeah, lots of big games to come, and we will close out here with the FA Cup. Last 16 against Leyton Orient, where again I'll be trusting the backup brigade as we look to reach the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, there should be a comfortable progression through to the quarterfinals today, like we saw in the previous round against Oxford. And I know I've got a Leyton Orient supporter who watches the channel. I've seen your comments, and I really hope your side don't knock us out today, because that will be probably worse than my bottle against Norwich in the FA Cup last year. So, as I say, hoping for a comfortable progression. But so far, Leyton Orient have started pretty well as Peck slides it through. Was Zeki onside? Yes, he was. And he opens the scoring as well. I'm sorry if we knock out your team today, but I need to keep the chances of the quadruple alive. Whisper it very quietly, but it's still on for Burnley this season. Well, guys, I'll be honest, it's not been a very good game. Fair play to Leyton Orient. They've dug in and kept the scoreline at 1, whilst we've been massively in control. We've not got that second goal and killed the game off yet, as Broja releases Luca. It's a brilliant pass, and Luca races away for 2-0 and just about squeezes it in off the post. That will seal it. Burnley into the quarterfinals, with the backup brigade doing it once again in the cup competitions this year. Let's head back to the menus, and to close out the episode, we will see who it's going to be in the final 8 of the FA Cup. Yeah, as we make it back to the menus, I believe our fixture was the final game, so we should see the draw straight away, where I think it's all Premier League teams left. We will be taking on Leicester City. Wow, we have been so nice with the cup draws this season. In the League Cup, practically all the way up to the semi-finals, we got nice draws. And in the FA Cup, the same thing has happened here. We will take on, to be fair, FA Cup finalists last year, Leicester City. But Graham Potter's side in the Championship, we have been really nice with that draw. So that will do it for today's episode, guys. Loads of progress made today. It is so tight in the Premier League. You'll be seeing a full rundown of the table here. But with 9 games left to play, it is still all to play for, and we'll have more big games coming in the next episode, alongside both legs of our Europa League last 16 tie against FSV Mainz, where I do feel we'll be favourites to make it through to the quarterfinals. And as well, the League Cup final as we take on Liverpool. The one side I said I didn't really want to face in the Cup final, as I do think they are the team we've had most difficulty beating throughout the course of the save. And I will be trusting the backup boys, even though we have made it all the way to the final. So all of that to come in the next episode. You won't want to miss it, guys. Take care and peace.